gentlemen, welcome to Eddie Live. It's easier to do it like this, man. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 250. I am here. We're making history with, first time I'm bringing on one of my former employees.
Yes.
What's up, brother?
Hi, Ed. Nice to have you.
Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, was a while ago when you worked here, but now you're, doing super well for yourself. I'm excited.
I am fully grown.
Big
I
boy
guess.
now, huh?
Yeah.
I love it, man. And by special request, we are bringing back the wings.
Yes. Tell me about the wings.
So the funny thing about the wings is, that's the right way. We started with the wings, because we like the hot ones thing, right?
Yes.
And I love making hot sauces.
Shout out to Sean Evans.
Yes, shout out to exactly Sean Evans from Hot Ones.
Yeah.
Let us know how the audio is. We should be live on Instagram too, I believe. So let's see how it goes today. Yeah. If not, it's all recorded. But so I love doing that. And what was happening was a lot of people were getting, they were rejecting to do the podcast or scared to do the podcast
because of the wings.
Because of the wings. They're like,
Right.
well, I can't eat on camera. Well, I can't eat spicy. Well, this, well, that. And so a lot of people were rejecting it, man. So I thought, okay, well, let me just turn it into a regular podcast and I'll feed the people first and then we'll have a couple beers and chat. So it's been all right. It's been all right too. Yeah.
Have you been like any people saying, "Oh, I cannot drink either"? It's like I don't drink beer. I don't drink blah blah blah.
I have had that, so I just let them say, what do you want? You want coffee? Sometimes we'll do wine or margarita. Luckily today we get to do beer, which is nice. Yes, because like I was saying earlier, I don't drink that much, but I don't mind it. Yeah, let's do it. I've also had I had a funny story. I had a vegan guy on before who's like super vegan guy. I don't know if you've seen that one, but a super vegan guy. He's a friend of mine still, and. We did the cauliflower wings, which is no problem.
Yeah,
Make sure everything
good.
They're super good, right?
They are.
And we had to make sure that, everything, made sure we didn't do the buffalo because the buffalo has butter, right? And so I had to make sure because we make the sauces, so it's fine, right? But he's like, yeah, he likes beer. I'm like, all right, well, pick a beer. What do you want to drink? And then he's like, well, are they vegan? And then I said, can beers not be vegan? I said.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, whoa. He told me that a lot of people put fish oil in beer. A lot of people put like all this crazy stuff. And like, really? I said, shit.
No, those are the things to settle the beer, and then they trash the extra part of it.
Yeah, I mean, but if it touches the beer, then they can't.
Everything's ruined.
It's ruined for the vegans, man. So yes. All right, so audio sounds good. Audio's good on everything. Yes. All right, perfect. Yes, so man, Nick. You worked here, I don't know how long ago. Was it 10 years? 8 years ago?
It was 9 years ago.
Okay.
So you know me.
You were a kid.
When I was like 17. I wasn't even in the college.
Really?
I was just visiting my sister from time to time.
Oh, let's pull this picture up. This is the one you saw, right?
Oh, yes.
That's you back in the day, right? And your sister on the other side. And the girl in the picture with her, that's Sky.
That's Sky.
That's Sky, yeah. So her and Sky it was awesome. She was awesome. And then she left for a while, and then you came and worked with us, which is awesome. Yeah. And she's like, hire my brother. And we're like, okay. And usually when people are like, hire my brother or whatever, then it usually ends up not being good.
No.
But it was great. It was awesome, man.
I think it was the time when but you guys are setting the second location and you need staff.
Yes, we did, yeah.
So it's probably a devastated hire for me to work here.
No, to be honest, it was good. Like I said, when Raul asked, he's like, oh, this guy applied, he used to work for you. I said, actually, he's really good. Yeah. So I don't want to get it's good, man. I'm happy. I'm happy that you're there. Happy that it's going well. And we'll get to that crafted part a bit later. But for sure, man. So you worked here with us, right?
Yes. It was 17. On and off.
Tell me about it.
Just here to visit it, enjoy the food a lot.
Okay.
Whenever there's leftover from the kitchen or because every time all the staff, I don't know if still it is what it is now, but our staff meal is always a a meal for
From
the
here,
customers.
of course, yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
still like that.
if you order a staff meal for a burrito, it's a legit full portion of burrito.
Yes, it is.
And then Cindy of her size, she always
Yeah.
finishes half of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she brought the half of it
Okay,
home.
okay.
And
Oh,
I was
that's cool.
This food is amazing.
Thank you, man.
I want to work there when I am in college.
when I grow up.
yeah.
Okay.
And then-
that's how it started.
And then I applied for college got in a Spanish major.
Yes.
Yeah, College of Spanish.
Tell me about that. I mean, what gave you the idea to be like, let's do Spanish?
Oh, it was at that confusing 17, 18
Sure,
age.
of course.
And then I'm like, well, I think for a future, like I've already mastered Mandarin.
Yeah, well, I think so. Yeah.
And then semi-fluent in English. So what can be next to
Yeah.
open up a next window?
Okay.
Might as well be Spanish.
That sounds good. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Well, I had the Spanish and the English, and then when I came to Asia, similar thing. I thought, what should be the next one, and it should be Mandarin, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
Mandarin's huge. Yeah. So good. That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. My Spanish now is kind of like going down, though. It's bad.
Oh,
I've
same
been here
here.
for so long, man. I live here for a long time, and in Mexico.
20 years, right?
20 years, man. Over now. I have kids. About 2 months ago, I had one.
You had kids 2 months ago.
These 2 months ago, man. 2 months ago, I had these kids come to visit me.
Right.
That I taught kindergarten to when they were 5,
Yeah.
and they came to visit me here about 2 months ago, and they're now 25. Yeah, which was crazy because that makes me feel pretty old. But it was cool to have, them say that they still remember. Like, I don't remember my kindergarten.
No.
I don't remember my kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
I don't really remember anything. But they are 25, and they remember, that I would take them out to the park, and all the stuff that we used to do.
Right.
Would do with all the class and stuff. So the parents came, and it was a pretty cool experience, man.
Like seeing them from little kids to
Yeah.
a full-grown ladies or
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Yeah, it's hard.
Right.
It's actually, well, that's two different stories, because the boys they all look different 20 years later.
Yes.
They're men now, right? Which
Yeah.
was kind of surprising for me, because I still think of them as these little 5-year-old kids. A couple years ago, same situation. This girl comes into the restaurant. She comes over. She gives me this big hug, and this is like a 26-year-old girl who's like, she's beautiful, and she's just like, I'm kind of standing there like, hi,
Hey.
how's it going? Can I help you with something? And she's just like, oh, you coached me at Kuishan, and she told me her name, and she told me, and I kind of grabbed her head, and I was like, oh shit, I remember you. Yeah, you were so good. Yeah. And it was cool because it was all the staff's kind of staring at me like, ooh, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? And I'm like, hands behind my back. Yeah, it was funny though, man. It was totally cool.
But yeah, it was.
Tell me about it, man. So you want to do Spanish? Good. And you decided
I'm gonna work here.
Work here.
because I love the food here.
because you love the food. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was your first introduction to Mexican food.
It was completely,
first.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I think you are the OG.
No, I thank you. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I hope so.
No,
Man,
but
shoot, yeah.
I genuinely
brother,
do
yeah.
think.
Thank you.
I think people don't realize how many Latino cuisines are here in Taiwan right now.
Yeah.
And Eddie being one of the earliest one.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of stuff popping up here, yeah, and like you're saying, we've been doing this for, I would say 16, maybe 16,
I think
17
people
years.
must have come here
Yeah.
for business models or recommendations or.
Well, you were telling me that someone definitely did.
Oh yeah,
Right.
There was always.
Yeah, yeah.
Every once in a while, we got Instagram ads saying, "Oh, we opened up a new taco shops or Mexican restaurant," and
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
"I've been living there. Let me be the judge of it." And then I have a meal there, and it's like, this taste,
Yeah.
the texture, and everything, the
Yeah.
beans, the rice.
Yeah.
It's no coincidence.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely been some staff and some people that have gone off and stole recipes or whatever. But it's hard, man. I mean, what can you do? I guess just it kind of sucks, but it is what it is, right? What are you gonna do? The tough thing is people think that running a business is just say you run a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's just you just have to have good food, but now you are basically running Crafted, right? And you have to, and you realize it's not just beer; it's so much stuff you need to do.
Yes. No. You sometimes I'll have to, like, a lot of things I don't want to do, but if I keep avoiding all those little problems, it's gonna be a big thing, and then it's gonna blow up in my face.
Yes.
In the least expected moments. So those are the things you have to like face, and then
it's hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to, you have a day planned or whatever, and then one of your staff's like, "Oh, I need to talk to you," and I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" And then it's like, well, I'm quitting. I'm like, "Why are you quitting? You're doing well." "Oh, because this guy and this guy," and everybody's like, one person gets unhappy. It's like a virus. They start to convince everybody. "Oh yeah, actually, Eddie's racist. Oh, actually, Eddie's this." And it's like, this is crazy. It's crazy. It's a crazy place, man.
Yeah, no, like
crazy industry.
One toxic person can just ruin the whole team easily.
And they try to get everyone to quit. When they're quitting, they're like, they try to get everybody to quit.
Yeah.
And the dumb thing is sometimes people will quit. Like we had a guy recently quit, and there's a couple of people that are kind of on their last couple of weeks because of this guy. Luckily, these are not great people,
right?
So it's okay, right? But the thing is, after you quit, is this person going to pay your bills?
No,
Right?
no.
They're not going to. Are they going to find you a new job?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of places to work, but I think there's a lot of shitty places to work. I've worked at so many, man.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Like the staff meal is a big plus for us. It's like working here.
Yeah.
And then every time you can just simply go to kitchen and say,
I want this.
I want a chimichanga with and then boom,
That's
there
your
you go.
meal. I think that's how it should be. That's supposed to be like a big perk, I think.
This is again, I've been working here on and off through my college years, so it was 4 years. If not 4 years, like 3 and something years, because but yes, like the staff meal is the one thing I miss, not the most. Like,
Okay. No, I get it, man. I love that. No, me too. I mean, I've been eating this since probably before I was born. But well, first off, let's get a wing. Let's get a wing in here before it get cold. So we're gonna start with these ones, right? So this is just the basic buffalo.
Basic.
Oh, shit. Because we haven't done it for a while, they didn't give like the napkins or anything, but that's okay. I'll ask for some in a sec.
Right.
So the basic buffalo, we'll start with this. Now we'll start moving on, yeah. All right, so get in there, man. Let's see if there's anything here.
I can't remember. I can't recall.
Get in that. Let me get tissue.
Yeah.
Keep going.
This is so good. Thank you.
Yes. Funny thing with the buffalo. We used to use Frank's Red Hot because that's the original buffalo sauce, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during COVID, they stopped importing it. And then, when we got our last bottle, they said that's the last bottle of Frank's. And we said, well, when are you going to get it again? And then they said, well, we don't know. So I did the research and I said, oh, all right, well, screw it. I guess I make my own Frank's. And then so we make our own Frank's sort of clone sauce, and then with like the fresh cayenne peppers in Taiwan. And then, we make that. So now they have Frank's again, but we just use our own because I think it's better.
Right.
It's fresh.
Well,
it's super fresh.
yes.
Yeah.
I think it's less buttery.
Yeah.
But the pepper-wise, it's really light and refreshing.
Yeah.
It's not so dense.
Yeah.
And it's kind of stuck in your throat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been pretty good, man. So no problem on that one, man. So let's
No problem.
we did the first picture, right?
Yeah.
So that was it, right? That was you were working here. That was awesome.
The picture on the left, it was actually one of my last day working here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. finally took a picture with Roselle, if you still remember.
I remember Roselle, of course.
So it was. I did not work in my senior year of college, and then all my old colleagues, all the part-timers, like, hey Nick, you know there's a new staff working at Eddie's and looks just like you. It's like, no
way, I'm way too good looking. You're thinking, right?
And then people started showing me picture, and I got terrified.
And that's him.
Yeah. And then
so funny.
When I got back to work here behind the bar, and then Roselle was there, and we took a picture of it. We are almost like a doppelganger. Yeah.
That's funny. And the funny thing is, Cindy also, when Cindy and Sky started at the same time, everybody thought that they looked the same. So I thought it was hilarious. Yeah. We pull up the next one. So when I was looking for pictures, it's tough to find pictures of you, man. So I found we have a few in the collection. This is one of them. And you know, you're always making the goofy face and stuff. So tell me about that.
I don't recall this.
It looks like I think this was a staff party.
Oh,
let me pull up the next one then. Boom. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the one time we were at.
KTV,
we went to I think Momo Paradise or like some buffet, like
something like that.
Like
yeah.
Good
it was
buffet.
Good food. Yeah.
And then people are just proposing, let's go to karaoke. And then, for some reason, I think you order a taxi.
Okay.
And then just sending boxes of expired beer.
We did?
Yes.
I don't remember that. That's hilarious.
And then we're just drinking, not the Taiwan beer, Budweiser, or any of those crabs. Good craft beer.
Oh,
but just expired ones.
Just expired, right?
And just expired. It's not expired for a decade.
That's funny.
And then, like, people are just drinking that.
Yeah, because I think we had a few beers that were probably not selling and just sitting there.
It was
in the
2015,
case.
so it makes sense.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
that's
I
so
remember
funny.
that.
I can't remember. That's
it was
so
the
funny.
first time I had, like, I got hammered off craft beer. Because craft beer is always like 200 a bottle, blah, blah, blah. No.
Yeah.
So you can't afford that.
Yeah. That's so funny, man. I love that. Yes. So after that, you stopped working here. What gave you the idea to be like, I'm going to go to Mexico?
Before I actually made up my mind, I think I actually consulted you for a while.
Of course. Yeah, for sure. But I didn't give you the idea, though, right? I mean, like, what's the idea? What? Because it's pretty rare.
I think that's the thing. Like, once you got
exposed to this.
A food, and then you dig deep into the music, and then one thing led to another. It's like the culture, the people.
Yeah.
And then with all the selections, like we can actually apply for Spain, Argentina, Guatemala, Chile, and then
Can you give me one more? Ask them to send one more. Thanks, man.
I thought Mexico would be fun. I know I wouldn't have a stomach problem to stay there, to live there for a while. I'm familiar with that. The garlic, the onions, the cilantro, the tomato. I did my research for 4 years here.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yes, I think I will survive there.
Okay.
And that's it. Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, the food here, I love the food. I grew up on this Mexican food. But if you go to like Mexico, it's like next level.
Yeah.
For sure, it's like a next level of food, right? Mm-hmm. It's even when I go to Mexico, I'm just like, holy crap, it's so good.
When was it?
Oh man, we used to go when I was a kid every summer.
Yeah.
For about 1 month, every 1 year, every 2 years.
But which part?
Guadalajara.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we used to go there all the time. And just before we opened this restaurant, we went to get the machine presser for the tortillas here. We went to like a big tortilla factory in Mexico, and yeah, it was good. It was the last time I went. Yeah, and just going back, I was crazy because it's so. I always forgot it's so cheap.
Yes.
Is it still crazy cheap? Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it still? I mean, man.
When I was in Mexico, right? So I live in the calle. Like it's very steep. And then I live here. I think 5 or 10 doors down, there's exactly that tortilla factory.
They're everywhere.
Like they're
amazing.
In homes.
And grandma's like,
yes.
Yeah,
and then
it. Yeah.
It's like you see all the buckets of maize and just water there.
Yeah.
And then like every 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I got woken up by the machine to start to rotating.
Nice.
And then like I walk there to school and I walking by, it's like the smell's amazing. And then all the gear, all the machine there, it's just so old.
It's so old,
and
man.
they're so good.
It's so good. Yeah.
And that's the thing. So every once in a while, when I don't feel like go out to eat or I don't want to cook myself anything, I just go there and then buy 5 pesos of tortillas. And then you guess, so for people who doesn't know, like 5 pesos is equivalent of 8 NTD.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And then you can get this amount of tortilla.
It's crazy.
It's like, for me, a guy, I'll have to finish it in 7 days.
Yeah.
But no, they got it. They got bad within 3 days, so it's no way.
Yeah, because no preservatives, nothing, right?
Yeah.
Very fresh.
It's fresh corn.
I love that. Yeah. No, I understand 100%. And so when I was a kid, they would always send us, we'd go to visit, and they would send us to go and pick them up. They send the kids to do it, right? The kids go and they pick them up, and they have a little basket with like a rag, right? And then they put all the tortillas in, and they wrap it up in the rag.
Yeah.
And they go back home, and they give the kids a little extra candy, and they'll get like, like chocorroles or some kind of like mazapan or something on the side, and the kids have their stuff, and they have their little candy, and they just walking home. Amazing.
Yeah.
And it costs like pennies. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently that's a thing for Mexican kids when they walk home and then their parents are still working.
Yeah.
So they can just give them like pennies, literally pennies. And they just go to those tortilla shops.
Yeah.
And then just buy like 5 tortillas and they roll it.
Like a...
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like flautas, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
without the ingredients. Just salt.
Yeah.
Pure salt. A little bit salt. And then sometimes some tomato salsa.
Yeah.
And then you got your perfect snacks.
It's the best. It's so good, man.
Yes.
It's crazy. I love it. When we go back to Mexico, it's like all we do is eat. And then the last time I went, we stayed with my uncle, and he was driving us around, and we were looking at factories and stuff.
Yeah.
And at the end, I think we were there for maybe 5 or 6 days. And then at the end, we were going to leave. And I said, okay, tonight's the last night. So, pick a restaurant. My treat. I take, the whole family. It was maybe 8 of us. We can't take the whole family, or there's like 200, right? So there's like
the 200 Gonzalez.
Yeah, 200 Gonzalez. I'm like, okay, so we go pick a place. So he said, well, there's this fancy one they want to try. And what they do is they have the mocajete and the meat inside there, and they cook the whole thing in the oven. And I said, that sounds great. Let's go. So we went. And we had Negra Modelos, right?
Yeah.
And we had Bohemia. We had like a bunch of beer and a bunch of food. And everybody pigged out and maybe 2 or 3 beers each. And then, the bill came. And I'm like, okay, I'll take care of it. And my uncle looked at the bill. He's like, man, this bill is huge. So, I can pay for some. I said, no, I take care of it. And I took it and I look at the bill. And it was like, looking at it, and I did my calculation, it was like 1,800 NT.
For 8 of you.
For like 8 of us in this super fancy restaurant. And I'm like, wait a minute, that can't be right. And I'm like, because I thought I'm going to spend like 5,000-6,000 or whatever, right? And I'm just looking at it, 1,800 NT, and I'm like, ask Joe, I'm like, is that right? She's like, yeah. And he's like, it's a lot. So I'm like, no, I got it. So we paid, and it was crazy because it's so cheap. So cheap, man. Mexico's crazy. Food's so good, man.
Yeah.
I got a couple, speaking of that, like bam. There's a couple of pictures that you sent me or Cindy sent me.
I did not.
There you go. So Cindy sent me some of these pictures.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a tortilleria, right?
Yeah.
There's some tacos on the side there.
So yes, that's the thing. I wish Taiwanese Mexican restaurants can have. It's the double tortillas.
I know what you mean. Yes. We tried to do it, but when you hand press, we cannot get it thin enough.
Mm-hmm.
So
it breaks.
It's so thick.
Yeah.
And then people just throw away the bottom tortilla, and I'm like, oh. No, but it's really nice. In Mexico, they will always they take the two, right?
Yeah.
They just grab the tortillas and they just grab the meat and then just bam, boom, boom, bam. And I just watched them like, holy crap, this is so incredible.
So that must have been like me bringing my sister. Yeah. She visited me when I was in Mexico. So into something that is like full of just local labors there.
Yeah, yeah.
So the double layer tortilla, I think it's for the like workers. Like they need extra carbs.
Yeah. That makes sense. I didn't even know that actually. That's funny. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Let's get the second one and we keep going. Yeah.
All right.
Second one is this one here. So it's chipotle. Yeah.
Chipotle.
So jump in on that chipotle. So you're in Mexico.
Yeah.
You're living there. You're enjoying it. Obviously, the food is incredible. What about like
But no, before that, I have to say I have a confession to make.
Okay, do it.
With all the enchiladas I've had, like 20 of them, like in everywhere in Mexico. Like still, Eddie's enchilada is by far.
Really?
Yes, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking.
Really?
Yes. Enchiladas in Mexico, it's a folded tacos. And then it's just
sauce
like
on top.
salsas. But it's not salsa. It's watered down version of it. So like a soupy salsa.
Yeah.
So it's making everything soggy.
Yes.
And a lot of times, like, it tastes like fermented cheese somewhere here and there.
Okay.
And then, so it's like, what? I thought I'm gonna have authentic enchiladas. It's supposed to be better than whatever Eddie is trying to sell me.
It should be better than mine.
Yeah,
it should be
authentic. Yeah. No, it's Taiwanese, it's Canadian.
Yeah.
Mexican. No, I'm telling you. For everyone who haven't been to Mexico, I challenge you. If you find any enchiladas that's better than Eddie's, let me know. I'll go there. Okay. Personally, I'll go there and then I'll test it out.
Wow, thanks, man. I appreciate it. The funny thing about the enchiladas, obviously, it's supposed to be with corn tortillas, right? So when we opened our Danshui restaurant, we didn't have maseca. There was no corn tortillas. I didn't know how to do the nixtamal thing that we do now. And so people were asking for enchiladas, and I said, well, I can't do it because we don't have corn tortillas, we don't have masa, we don't have anything. And then they said, oh, just use flour. And I said, no, but the flour, it's not the right way. It's not authentic, right? And then they said,
it's not authentic.
It's not authentic, right? And then they said, no, just try, because we make really good flour tortillas, right? And then they're just like, oh, just do it. And it's like 1 year goes by, business is kind of like, not too good. Mm-hmm. And then again, they say, people saying you got to do enchiladas. So I said, okay, whatever. So I make the enchiladas. The way that my mom makes them is we take it, the tortilla fresh, and then we dip it, and then we fry it, and then we put it in the then we fill it, wrap it, and then we put more, and then we bake it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a longer process.
Yes.
A much, much longer process. But I did that with the flour tortillas, and I tried it, and I was like, oh, shit, this is really good. This is really good. So I said, okay, put it on the menu. And then our sales were like super, like everybody's like, you got to try it. So good. And I thought, wow, okay, this is really good. And after a couple years, that was our number one seller. Like still to this day, it's one of the top. And after that, we were able to get maseca and all that, harimasa, stuff like that. And so we start to make the corn tortillas here. And then I said, boom, great, we're going to change it. So we change it to corn.
Yeah,
right? And
okay.
Then all the people that come here for enchiladas, I said, you know what? I have great news. We're now able to
we got
the real corn tortillas for the enchiladas. And everyone's like, okay, cool. And then they got it. And then they hated it. They hated it. And all the sale of enchiladas.
That's the authentic enchiladas.
The enchiladas were become one of the worst sellers. And everyone said, oh, used to be so good. Oh, 以前好吃现在不怎么样, And I'm like, what the fuck? Like this is So I said, okay, so I put it back on the menu, change it back, and then now again, to this day, it's still one of the top sellers. And once in a while, we will still get people that come in and say, wow, it's not authentic because it's not corn. I'm like, I can make corn if you want.
Yeah.
But if somebody just orders the enchilada, then we just do the regular flour.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I had some, I think, today for lunch or yesterday. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yes, Mexicans, Mexicanos, you hear from Eddie's. You have to pre-fry your enchiladas tortillas and then bake it.
We cannot be the only ones that do that because my mom does that, and my mom is the real genius, really, because we grew up in Canada.
Yeah.
And we eat this food in Canada, and at that time, Canada has no Mexicans, so there's no chiles. There's no masa, there's no anything. So my mom had to be similar to what I did here, have to figure out how to make stuff with already available ingredients.
Right.
So that's how, for me, I found out how to make all this stuff without any ingredients because my mom did.
It's sounding like the whole Gonzalez family. It's on a mission. Like you go into foreign places and introduce people with your family, your grandma's recipe, and then just preaching.
I love it. Yeah, people, and it's
I'm a
good.
true believer.
Hey, all right. Cheers, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I love it. People love it. Sometimes you get, you're gonna always have people that don't like it.
It's not like you alter anything.
Yeah, we didn't.
You just work with whatever you got. It's not making it less authentic.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
If anything, it makes you like even more authentic.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it because
I genuinely think so.
Sometimes people give us shit. They're like, well, I'm like, hey, there's nothing I can do. I don't want to import stuff. I want to use all the chiles, everything from here.
Yeah.
I want to use everything that's here.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we do.
Yeah.
So even now, like with the corn and stuff, we just use from here. So it's great,
I do think so. I do think all the people that judge the Mexican food, it's not authentic enough. It's that they live in California, San Francisco, Texas. They are so familiar with their own Tex-Mex thing and then thought it was the world.
Yeah.
Like the Tex-Mex is the authentic Mexican food. No, if you go to Mexico City, like it's in the middle of the Mexico. It's nothing similar to northern part. And if you go to the coastal area, if you go to Merida, if you go to the south, it's different. It's totally different.
And the funny thing, and it's not that. I mean, Taiwan is if you have like near Mian or something in Taipei, and then in Kaohsiung, and then in Tainan, it's gonna be different. It's all different, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we just do what we can do.
So I think that people who judge the hardest are the least
crazy.
Yeah,
I have one. There's this one lady, tortas ahogadas, right?
Yeah.
So in Guadalajara, that's like a famous thing, and one of my cousins has a stand, and. I was able to find a bread that kind of looked like a torta here.
Okay.
And so I said, okay, I'm going to do tortas ahogadas. And this was at the other restaurant. And so I'm doing the tortas here. And this lady comes in and, Taiwanese lady, she comes in and we have this special and she says, okay, nachos for him and enchilada and then like a burrito here. And then I'll have the special. I'm like, you sure? She's like, oh, okay. I want the special. So I send out all the food, and I'm so excited. I'm cutting the bread and I'm making the sauce on top,
the mayo and everything.
Yes. Torta ahogada, right? And then she just, what did she say? She's like, I need to talk to the owner. So then the staff calls me, and I'm like, oh shit, there we go. So I come out. I'm like, hi, what's up? And she's like, the nachos is very good. We like it. Enchilada is amazing, very authentic. I'm like, okay, thank you. And whatever the other, I know. And then the other thing, a burrito, whatever she had, it was really good. But this sandwich, this is not Mexican. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
And she said, oh, this is just not Mexican food, so I don't want this.
People. Torta is like the workers. Like you see people with the like polo shirt and then vest, wake up at 5:30 and try to get to the factory by 7.
Yeah.
Like they always have a torta at the bus station. Like if a bus station, like every hour they have like 500 buses. Like they have 500 torta shops, and then you just
So filling.
Point at whatever you feel like, carnitas, whatever. They fill it for you, and it's the most bready, the most heavy thing you can get.
You're full for the day.
Yes.
Yeah. So this lady, she's like, oh, this is not Mexican. I said, well, actually, in Mexico, in Guadalajara, where my family lives, this is a pretty popular dish. It's kind of like a drowning sandwich. I'm kind of trying to explain to her with the pickled onions and stuff on top. And then, so I explained the whole, almost the whole history of the torta. What you just did. Not even not as good as you, but just a short version. And she's just like, I live in San Diego for 3 months. I know Mexican food.
Yes.
That's what she said to me.
Yes.
And I said, okay, no problem. And I took it away. I said, I take it off your bill, no problem. She's like, thank you.
Yes, that's a trip advisor expert.
Expert, man. Right
yes,
there.
That's
And then I had to go to the back and just open the freezer, just put my head in the freezer for a couple minutes. Okay, I'm better now. Let's go. And then after I did a couple weeks maybe we did it. And then I said, you know what? We're never doing tortas ahogadas ever again. And it was gone. Yeah, and then, that's crazy, man. But you're in Mexico. Let's go back to you.
Yes.
Mexico. You're there. You're eating it. You smell the masa in the morning, and then you walk by. When you go into a Mexican house, it smells like beans and corn and rice.
Always.
I love it. When I go home, my house smells like that. Not here, because I never cook here, because I'm always cooking here. But in Canada, in Mexico and Canada, when we go home, the house smells like beans and rice, the red rice, and just everything.
Oh yeah, I think people don't know that. Making everything that's onto your table takes a lot of time. That, for example, if you are trying to make a green salsa, you have to start with grilling the peppers first.
Yep.
And the jitomates and tomates.
Yep.
So it takes time to caramelize your veggies and then put it into the juicer and then pour it out and then refine it, cook it, and then do it again.
Yeah.
So so every time you open the door, it always feels like some dish is cooking.
Yeah.
You don't know what is it yet, but it's always preparing.
So while you're in Mexico, where did you stay? You stayed in someone's house? You stayed in a hotel?
Oh, yeah.
What did you do? Tell me about that.
So I was staying in Guajimapa, which is... it was in Mexico City, but it was almost at the state of Mexico. It's at the border. It was the city center was Santa Fe. So I study in Ibero-Americano, which is a Mexican private, one of the most entitled white Mexican kids go to.
Yeah. Oh, I know lots of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, they call themselves white Mexicans.
I didn't know that. That's funny. Okay.
Yeah. And Santa Fe, when I was there, it was 2019. So I heard 10 years ago, before 2010, that hill was completely, it's just garbage. People dump garbage there.
Really?
And then somehow the ex-president saying, oh, we're trying to have some tech companies coming in.
Okay.
So it was actually Ibero-Americano, my college, and then right across the street there was Microsoft there, and then Huawei there. So,
really?
So every big tech company is over there.
So wow.
And my host family is something 30 minutes away from there. So I will have to wake up around 6:30. Okay. So I will have to take the bus before 7 a.m. to go to the school by 7:30, because if I actually delayed myself and then got to the bus station by 7:01, the bus is gonna be full of people, the workers there. So okay. I'll have to wait for 15 minutes to jump on one, okay. And the traffic by then will be so bad. A 15-minute drive will easily be an hour.
Wow.
That's how dense Mexico City is.
Mexico City has more people than at least as many or more than Taiwan.
Mexico City
More than
itself
Canada, I think.
is a population of Taiwan.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, about 23, 24 million,
Yeah,
something like
exactly.
that. That's crazy, right?
Those are the registered ones.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you go there, you'll be surprised like how many there are apparently non-registered citizens over there. Like the Aboriginals just being there.
Oh, okay.
Like one lady with 3 kids on the street doing whatever they can to survive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Mexico's crazy, man. Like I said, the last time we went, when I brought Joe, we were driving through like the downtown area, like with all the beautiful churches and stuff everywhere. And Joe was like,
So you went to Mexico City?
no, we went to Guadalajara.
Okay.
But so we went down there, and we were driving down the cathedrales and stuff. They're all the churches. It's so beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my wife has like her iPhone just sticking out the car, recording everything. And my uncle is like, "Tell her put that fucking phone away."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, don't take your phone now. Don't do any shit like that downtown, because we're gonna get robbed."
Yeah,
That shit was crazy,
you
man.
are.
It was crazy, yeah. And we went to I keep forgetting the English name, like a foreign exchange, a casa de cambio, right?
Yeah.
The foreign exchange thing.
Exchange.
Like exchange house thing. And we went in there, and you cannot even park in front. You have to drive around. So my uncle is just kind of just doing circles around the building.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to park there, or else people are like, "Hey, what's going on? Why are you here?" So we went in and we came out, and my uncle's like, "All right, get in." I said, "What's going on?" He said, because people here, they know that if you just change money, that means you have money.
You have money.
So I'm like, holy shit, I never even thought about that. It's so crazy, man.
I would
Shout
say
out to Eddie's. Who we got here?
we got here?
Comment one is, can you read it?
No.
Well, check up here.
Oh yeah, right.
Shout out to Eddie's staff meal. That must be your sister, right?
Yeah, that's my sister.
Yeah, awesome. So I thought you were gonna come, Cindy. Come on, come and visit. What's going
I
on?
know. Come
Thought you
down
were
for a
coming out.
drink.
Yeah, come for a drink. My treat.
People have been question or having a lot of questions through like what is Mexico City like?
Yeah.
Was it dangerous?
I never been there, man. Actually, so tell me about it. A
So
little bit.
that was the funniest thing. First day of the school, this is orientation day, so they give all the exchange students of what are the do's and don'ts. What do you need to know about the city, about the country?
Okay.
And then apparently Mexico City is one of the safest city in Mexico.
Really?
It's not because there's no cartels or gangs here. It's because it's full of gangs and cartels. There's no single one cartels owns the city. That
Really?
makes it, a peace kind of triangle
Really?
thing. Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't even know that. 'Cause I've never been there.
Like, for example, if you go to Sinaloa, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's held by Sinaloa. Like, the cartels are, you can say it's bigger than the government officials.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
they
for
can
sure.
shoot their mayors on the street
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
because they
That's why
own
no
the
one
city.
wants to
but
be a mayor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But because Mexico City is so complex, there are mafias and like everything is competing against each other underneath the table. So that's why it's
Wow.
a danger, but no, they don't reveal themselves, kind of.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Wow, that's cool. I've never been there, so.
So yes, Mexico City can be a little dangerous. So for us, we take Uber from point A to point B, and then you can feel there are some neighborhoods, some streets. Your Uber driver just go extra fast.
Really?
Yeah, just trying to avoid some hoods.
Really, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other don'ts? What are some of the don'ts, the do's and don'ts?
Oh,
the
don't
don'ts?
drink tap water. That's rule
That's
number one.
huge.
No,
That's
you,
huge.
you,
Yeah, of
you
course.
don't do that. Even by accident, you try to just watch something you fell and then pick it up. Don't
Okay.
eat it.
Yeah.
I mean, the street food itself, if your stomach's trained, or
Yeah.
if you are willing to let yourself to enjoy the spice actually kills the bacteria.
Okay. that
So the
makes sense.
salsas actually ease your stomach. So
I love the street food. It's the best.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why, actually, when I came to Taiwan, all of my, like, can I say, like my Canadian American sort of like let's say whiter friends, when they came here, they always talk about like, you know, culture shock. But for me, when I came here, I thought, oh, just like Mexico.
Yes.
Almost the same.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But really safe.
Yeah.
Of course, the food is different, but you can go to like mercados there, you know. But here we have night markets, same thing. You know, the night markets there, you go there, everybody's got street food.
Yeah.
There's, you know, the grandmas are there. They're making tamales. Here they're making zhongzi, right? Just,
Yeah.
But almost the same. Different ingredients. It's almost the same.
There
I
are
love
always
it.
people judging, like, oh, why are they making our food without the mask? I was like, come on. Their hands have been making like 2,000 tortillas. And
Exactly.
then for the last 60 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
It couldn't go wrong.
Exactly. Yeah. So I love it. So when I came here, you know, all the markets and stuff like that, you know, it's great. I said, oh, this is great. I love it. That's why I stayed.
I do think Taiwanese people do not know how many similarities are there in between like Taiwan and Mexico.
They don't know.
Even Mexican cities, like they see me, an Asian boy, and it's like, oh, you know what? We eat a lot of tomatoes. We eat a lot of rice and garlic and onions in our daily spice. It was like, we got that.
Yeah.
Oh, moreover, you know what? We eat watermelon and we got mangoes, those tropical fruits. I bet you don't get it, right? I was like,
got that
come
too.
on, I got that too.
We invented that shit.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so
we
similar.
have a lot in common.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So when I came here and I went to the night markets and stuff and like all of my like American, Canadian friends at the time, they're just like, oh, you know, that's like dirty street food. I'm like, fuck that. That looks delicious. You know? You go in there and the best food is in the night markets. Still now, sometimes we will just go to like Shula night market, you know, get a couple thousand, and then we go there and I'll get like sugarcane juice. And then, you know, my wife will get like a watermelon juice. And then we're just walking down. My daughter has the like the tomatoes with the candy on top, right? Like the sugary tomato. Tanghulu, that's it. She gets that, and we just eat and we walk and we eat, and then there's like games, video games, or like gun games or something. It's great. I love it.
Yeah,
I love doing that. Still now, it's crazy.
So
in Mexico, that's everywhere.
Mexico, it's just a more chaotic version of Taiwanese market and enlarge them.
Yeah, exactly. I love that, man. Let's get the next one, man.
Yes.
So the next one is Korean. So the spicing is going to start to go up now.
I haven't tried the.
You haven't tried the Korean?
Yeah,
okay.
These are the barbecue and Chipotle. We got those.
Those are chill. Yeah, those are pretty easy. Yeah, pretty chill. So get that.
And the spring onions on top, huh?
Green onions. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So get that. While you do that, I'll pull up another picture of you guys in Mexico, and we'll switch topics soon.
Oh.
That's you. Cindy sent me that. I think Cindy sent me the most pictures. Of course. Because usually the guys don't take too many pictures. This time when I went back home, I saw some of my friends that I haven't seen since college. And there was one night when I was drinking with one of my buddies. And we had a good time. It was super fun. And nobody, because they're guys, I'm a guy, not one of us took one picture. So I haven't seen him in 20 years.
Yeah.
And there's not even one picture. And I'm like, fuck, that's so bad.
You're just living the moment.
I'm just like enjoying it and having a good time. And we're talking about high school. Some of our friends from what happened to this guy? What happened to that guy? Oh, this girl used to be hot. What happened to her? Oh, what does she look like now? And a lot of the people are still on my Facebook. Mm-hmm. And he's like a kind of a nutty anti-conspiracy guy, so he doesn't have Facebook, he doesn't have anything.
Right.
So he's just like cut off from everyone. So we just opened up the computer and we were having beers. I'm like, well, this girl's here and this guy's here, and we went through, and it was pretty, and not one picture.
Yeah, no.
I was like, fuck, man. The next morning, you know, they left early, and I thought, shit, I don't know when I'm gonna see him. Like, I don't know if I'll ever see the guy again.
Oh yeah, I feel the heat here.
It's crazy. That one's hot. Yes, exactly. And it's like, I never took a picture, man. So it's like, so that's why it's good when there's somebody taking pictures.
But yeah, that's the thing. I lived there for around 5 months.
Yes.
And then Cindy joined me the last 10 days.
Yeah.
So I brought her to like all the grand touristy spots.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like, yeah, she's fascinating with all the pyramids and stuff.
Of course, yeah.
but I don't know. I don't know if it's me. Like I enjoy the daily little details. I take a lot of pictures around like taco stands, or like what are the organs or what part of the meat.
It's similar to here too, right? When they have like the stomach, like for menudo.
Yeah.
And then here you go to the market, they also have this.
You can easily have a quesadilla with cabeza.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly
the
right,
head,
man.
the tongue,
Yes.
the head skin, the ear. You can have like you eat just like Taiwanese. You eat a pig from the nose to the tail.
I love
Everything.
that. It's crazy because there is a place in Danshui that they do like a gongbao jiding, which I like, but they also have like the pig intestine, and they use that they gongbao this, right? Gongbao fei chang, whatever, right? And that's my favorite dish. Like when we go there, I'm like, I have to get this. It's amazing. And they told me the first time I went in there, I said, oh, I want this, and then they're like, oh no, foreigners don't eat that.
You are white.
And they're like, you're white. You don't eat. Foreigners don't eat that. I'm like, no, I eat that.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, what? And she's tells my wife, like, the foreigners don't eat that. And I'm like, I eat that. And she's like, well, he's actually not white. He looks white, but he's not white. He's Mexican. And they're like, oh. And then I brought it out, and so good, man. Like tacos de tripa, basically, right? Amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. I love it. I love that stuff.
So yeah, that's it. The taco shop is basically just like every 卤肉饭 place. You can have the intestines, you can have heart, you can braise whatever. It's just the whole pig in there, basically.
I love that. Yeah. And that we looked at these ones already, right?
That's chicharron with little birria. Oh, I'm not a fan of birria.
No, really?
No.
Yeah.
It's always a little too dry for me. If it makes sense.
There's Guadalajara has a really nice one, man. And we were gonna put it on the menu. We're thinking about it, but I like chicharron. Chicharron, like when it's done right, is amazing, man. But quick story about there's like in Mexico they're making the tortillas just on an iron slab.
Yes.
Right. And it's funny because here we use an iron slab, right? And all of the Taiwanese kitchen people, like the people that are building the kitchen, they're like, why are you using that? You should use like this, like the tieban sao. And I'm like, no, I cannot cook tortillas on that. And they're like, yeah, you can. And I actually we had a little one before, just a steel sort of comal.
Yeah, the 不锈钢.
Yeah. And it makes the tortillas really chewy and just makes them really shitty. And I'm like, I told you it doesn't work for this. Has to be
iron.
Just a slab of iron, And then, even now, like we had someone clean the kitchen just before Chinese New Year, a company, and they're like, you should change this to stainless steel. I'm like, no, I can't change to stainless steel. I use it to make my tortillas. And they're like, oh, and they're just telling me, you have to do this. I'm like, dude.
Already.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Can you just finish cleaning, please? Because I got to go, And they're just like, no, you got to change it to that. It's the tieban sao. I'm like, no.
But speaking of kitchenware, I do have a question.
Yes.
Does your mom put all the pans in the oven and stuff?
For sure.
They put it in microwave every drawer.
It's
right?
like storage.
Yeah. No, they don't put their chicken in the oven.
When you need to use the oven, you have to pull everything out of the oven, and then it's mess, and you got to clean it.
It's the funniest thing.
It's funny, yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
As a kid, you grew up, and the oven was like just like storage.
Yeah.
Just like a room for storage. It's crazy.
Mom, where's the pan?
Yeah, en el horno. Just like, okay, you open it up, you're like, man, it's crazy. It's so funny that I grew up with that, and I didn't know that was all Mexicans.
Yes,
because when I talk to other Mexicans, or when I see on a movie, or even when I see like in a video, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's exactly the same. There's an old song when I grew up, like you know Coolio, and it's old.
No,
it's like
no,
so old.
no.
And it was from an old movie, but somebody redid it, and it's called Beans and Rice, and he goes into the fridge. And he opens like the butter container, and he opens it, and it's beans.
Yeah.
And there's like a container for something else. He opens it, and it's rice, and everything is beans and rice. It's crazy.
Yes, I stay in the host family for 4 months with them, and that is completely true.
Everything's I'll show you the video later. It's so funny, man.
Yeah.
Let's get through a couple more pictures here, though. Is this the host family?
It's in the host family, and then it's the neighbors. They're like local neighbors, siblings. They come in here and then showed us how to make salsa from scratch.
Okay, nice.
So
nice.
we went to local markets to buy like 5 pesos of cilantro, 5 pesos of like everything, and then eventually it's gonna big plastic bag for everyone, and then what we made is that we did not make any meat or anything.
Okay.
But so yes, you just roll your tortilla and then with a little salt and then squeeze some lime and then whatever salsa you want, green salsa, go ahead. You like you want chipotle, nobody's stopping.
That's awesome, man. Yeah,
that was actually one of my first meal in Mexico.
Okay. I actually have a question for you. When Raul launched, when you guys launched the Luchador, the Mexican lager, he told me he was so excited. He told me that you were so excited. It's like super excited to start selling micheladas. And I told him, I'm like, oh man, I tried like many years ago, many times to do micheladas. And Raul was like, yeah. And then I was like, okay, go for it. And then like, a week later, he comes for lunch, and I'm like, how's the micheladas selling, man? And he's just like, everyone hates them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's crazy. I'm like, I love it. I love them, but we tried so many times. It's crazy because Mexican is it's very unique. Like the Mexican taste, right?
Yeah.
When we opened, see you guys, when we opened the, I think the second restaurant, there was a guy importing like these dulces, like tamarindo candies. That are like sweet and sour and salty and spicy. Right?
And spicy.
On candy, right? So we got those and I thought, oh, this is so great. I love it, right? And then we had like one Mexican family that came to eat and they loved it. And then so we put them out there and we're so excited. And then whenever Latinos came, I said, oh man, they're going to love it.
Yeah.
And all the Latinos hated it. All the Taiwanese hated it.
Yeah.
All the Americans, Canadians, they hated it.
Yeah.
So it was only the Mexicans. Only the Mexicans will do the sweet, sour, salty, spicy tamarindo stuff.
Yeah.
Only Mexicans. It's crazy.
Oh, but I gotta tell you, if there's one thing I wish I can bring in, or even so, to bet all my money in, which is not a lot, to do an import company, I will import one thing.
Okay, what's that?
The tamarindo vodka.
Tamarindo vodka?
Yes.
I didn't even know there was tamarindo vodka.
Oh, that's a party drink. Like you don't
really.
Yes, you don't. Like, there's hundreds of tequilas out there. Jose Cuervo, apparently it's the biggest brand in Taiwan. But in Mexico, well, it's okay.
Yeah, that's like Corona.
But if you go to any house party, there's always one bottle of smear of vodka tamarindo.
What? I never even knew that. Maybe we can try that. That sounds good, man.
It's so good.
Really? You know what's funny? I love agua de tamarindo.
Yeah.
Again, I have friends that own Indian restaurants, and I was able to get tamarindo. You know, we cleaned it and we peeled and we did all this stuff, and many times we made it. We made agua de tamarindo, and it didn't sell either. It ends up we drink it ourselves.
But hey, you know,
but vodka tamarindo, maybe some kind of like a mixer, something is possible.
Makes sense, right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
But I recently found out how to introduce tamarind to Taiwanese. It's all the ingredients in the 70 mangoes, the dry mangoes,
really,
from Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
The normal ones are already in the tamarind flavor.
Okay.
So
really,
people are like, oh, I think I know what you mean.
Really?
That,
oh, maybe. Yeah, that sounds good, man. I love it, but again, it doesn't sell too well for us.
Yeah. To answer your question,
micheladas.
Yes.
Heartbreaking.
There's definitely a very interesting Mexican taste to it. So what I heard is that
juice and that.
the Mexicans, they train their kids to start with spice by
Very young.
you have all the watermelon, mango, whatever, and then you just put tahini to it.
Yeah,
And it's everywhere.
It's everywhere, yeah.
So
yeah.
you started with that, and then
Yeah.
you grow up with Lay's or the chips.
They're spicy.
And then with tahines and
yeah.
Valentine's sauce, everything.
Valentina. Yeah. And actually,
that's how you got trained to like spice.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's funny because the kids eat so spicy, and then like things like the Mexican stuff, like the clamato juice. In Guadalajara, there's a place that my uncle took me to, and it's apparently the inventor, whatever, of michelada, like the original michelada. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Get one for me. Get one for my wife.
Should we explain michelada to?
Go ahead. You explain it. You probably know more than me.
So for example, michelada is somewhere, everywhere you go. For example, if you go on a hike in Taipei and then you go down, there's a 手摇杯 for you, right? There's a 梅子绿茶, there's 四季春. But no, all the hiking trails in Mexico, you got a shop selling beers and michelada, which is beer, but with
like
tamarind,
a Bloody Mary almost, right?
And then tomato sauce, cream sauce. So it's sweet, it's salty, it's spicy, it's sour.
Yeah, it's very Mexican.
In a little 1 liter, 1 liter plastic cups, and then you just hike, and then you got your energy from it. It's all you need.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you get that, and Mexican people, it's just like normal. So we went to the original michelada place, and I said, okay, let's get 2. And they're like, what do you want? I'm like, well, the signature one, the original, whatever.
With Corona, with whatever. Shitty beer.
And they bring like this 2-liter orange clay mug. It's huge. And they put one here and put one for my wife. And then they put tomato juice, and they throw in all this seafood in, and then 3 bottles of Corona. They take the 3 with the hand and just like this, and they're just throwing tons of seafood, and then this hot sauce, all these different sauces in there, and it just becomes this 3-liter mug of just like a shrimp cocktail.
A ceviche. It's a ceviche,
crazy.
and
And I had it, and I was like, holy crap. I'm not going to be able to finish this. This is too big.
It's not even one meal. It's the whole day thing
it's like
for you.
whole, and then so we did it, and then Joe didn't finish hers, of course, but I was. It was good, but I didn't even ask to think. Oh, how big is it? Because I'm just like, all right, just send it out, and it was 3 liters. Those big brown orange clay mugs.
Yeah. So
holy shit,
that's a question for you. Do you still serve tequila shots in clays?
Yeah, we do. We have clay. We have a little stack of clay ones. We use it for the mezcal though.
Yes.
What do you think about mezcal? Do you like mezcal?
Oh, mezcal, it's so much better. I don't think people have. Oh, but recently
it's coming
there
up
are
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Internationally,
two brands that are bringing some special ones in, and we're start to sell them this summer.
Yeah.
Speaking of the summer, Tianmu Beer Festival.
Yeah.
We have to sell. We're gonna be there.
Right.
So we have to sell the Mexican lager. What do you think?
I think by then we will.
You'll be
sold
out. So will you have something else?
Yeah, we are planning our next brew.
Another batch of Mexican lager or no?
I don't think I can tell you now.
Okay,
on
that's
the
fine,
show.
that's fine, okay.
But yes, I'll tell
It's
you
either
later.
Mexican lager or a hazy IPA for sure. One or the other. Yeah.
Right.
No, but that's good. No.
Yes, if you are down for a collab, we will
Let's do
be
it.
there.
Okay, so let's do that because last year we did it with Tilted Shack. We did the Juicy Tango and stuff. It was great. This year, I'm gonna do it. We're probably gonna do. Okay, Joe never wants to do the events because it's sometimes you break even, sometimes you don't. You make a little bit, sometimes you lose.
No, she thought you were lazy.
Exactly. Yes, I'm just there, pouring beers.
Everything.
And so basically, what my idea is just to have these little sort of paper cups or whatever, and we'll just have like flautas with a couple little sauces on there, and people can walk around with these 3 or 5. We'll do the corn flautas with different fillings and stuff like that. We'll have a little fryer there and just kind of bang, a little cup with sauce and some toppings, and people can just eat them and go. So that's probably what we're going to sell there.
Right.
So I'm excited for that. Yeah, it'll be good. Because
really
we can't do, like, I don't want to buy a bunch of equipment, and I don't want to do so many complicated things there. I just want to have something where people can just take it and go, you know?
Yeah.
And tacos is good, but I don't want to start making fresh tortillas there. I don't want to do that because I've done that before. Like I went to some of the taco things, and I don't want to do that. No. It's just something where I can just quickly just fry up these little mini flautas and just send them out and just bang, little sauce, send them out. Yeah. And people will like them, and they would go perfect with the luchador.
Yes.
Perfect, because of all the corn base with the luchador would be perfect.
Yeah, shout out to Flying Fox.
Flying Fox, man. Yeah, I need 2 more, so yeah, I got to get them before they're gone. So next one or what? Yeah?
Will it be not professional to go quick
No, go
leak?
ahead, man. Do your thing.
Yeah.
That's okay. I can take care of this. If you guys, let me just quickly. Oh, look at that. That's bad. If you guys are enjoying the podcast, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you guys are on Instagram, this is the first time that we've done like the full out live stream on Instagram. So, share, give us some love there. If you guys are on YouTube, of course, we appreciate you. We love you. Yeah, this is the time where I'm asking you guys to subscribe to the channel, pretty please, because we've been doing this for a while. This is episode number 250. That's 250 weeks in a row. So you guys are going to have to do the math on that. My math is pretty crappy. I've actually just put together a video of the process. It's going to be a really short video of the process of us making the corn tortillas. So yeah, just come on back, man. I just put together a video for that. I'll probably be launching a video for the corn tortillas in the next day or two, which is awesome because people always ask about the corn tortillas, and I wanted to make it like a nice short of it, but I didn't want to rush it, so I got a nice video coming for you guys very soon. So we've got this guy back here. Welcome back, my man.
All right.
You good? All
yes.
right. Let's finish off these pictures real quick here. The family one we did. This is what you were talking about earlier, right? The tortillerias there.
Yes.
I love the picture on the left. When I see that for me is Mexico, 100%.
It is.
So tell me about these pictures, man.
This is not exactly my neighborhood one, but it's everywhere.
Yeah, always look like that.
But authentic Mexican houses like this. It's on the street. As little wall as possible, and if there's wall, there's always murals and colors there.
Very colorful, Mexican.
Very colorful.
Yeah.
And then it's always in your face of like it's either written in word or just drawing. It's just like this is what I am.
Yeah. There's no bullshit. It's like this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I love it. And then it always smells good. Plastic tables, plastic chairs.
Yes.
Super cheap food and amazing food.
Yeah. Like always plastic. Yeah. I feel like it's almost a Mexican superpower for them. I think I want to do a little demonstration, like how they do like eating. For example, like for example, there's I remember I said every time I go to school, I have to go to the bus station and then boom to go to school.
Yes.
So exactly same route, but in reverse. I'll have to end up with the bus station where all the laborers by then, and they're probably going from work to home, and then people are having dinner there. So it's for us like it's in one street, probably like 10 taco stands.
Yeah.
And it's always 5 for 40 pesos.
That's
50 pesos.
So what is that in NT?
That's like 75 NTD for 5 tacos. Street
crazy.
tacos.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So no,
good.
I don't think you can tell your Mexican fellas how much.
I can't. I told my uncle, man. The last time I was in Mexico, I went
for 2 tacos. How much money?
I told him like, oh my god, it's so cheap. And he's like, no, it's normal. He's like, well, what do you charge? I'm like,
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know. I'm like, hey, man, I got to make everything. So, yeah.
So for a plate like this, for example, so like let's say you have like 2 tripas and 2 chorizos, like they cut everything and they make sure they dip all the tortilla in the grease and they cook it for a little bit. So every taco is there. And then lying there, folding 5, like greasy. They smell really good.
It is really good.
And then you always have a Coke.
Always Coke, yeah. Mexico consumes the most Coke in the whole world.
In the whole world, so,
and it's so
the diabetes just like
I never drink Coke here. I hardly ever drink Coke, but if I'm gonna have a certain meal, I would still have a Coke for sure.
But
so good.
Let me ask you: do you think the Mexican Coca-Cola
it's made with sugar cane?
Is it a myth or it's a fact? I feel like it's fake.
You think it's fake? Okay.
I don't think it tastes better.
I haven't had. So, what people say is regular Coke, they use like sugar, liquid sugar or whatever, or aspartame or whatever the crap that they're using. And in Mexico, they use sugarcane juice.
So American ones, apparently they use corn syrup and then sugarcane sugar.
Yeah, I love sugarcane juice, but I don't even remember, man. I can't. When I'm in Mexico, I'm in like heaven. I'm just eating and I'm having my there. It's just like, oh. The last time I went, we went for a walk on Sunday. We were going to look at factories. And we walked by a church. It was me, my uncle, and my wife. And we walked by a church, and there were this like inside. It was like a fundraiser, and there was these abuelitas making sopes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, let's go. So we went in and we ate, and we had mariachis there, and the mariachis were doing Guadalajara, and they all came, and then my uncle's like, oh, he's just visiting, and everyone came, and we were just eating, and it was just like, I hadn't been to Mexico in like 15 years before that. And it's just like all this food. And like my uncle was like my friggin' hero for my whole life. And then my wife is there, Taiwanese wife. And it was just like the food and the smells, and I'm in the church and all this stuff. And then just start crying like, and I'm just like, what the hell? And like, I didn't even know what was wrong. I was like, and everyone's like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't know why I'm crying. Just like crying. Like, what's going on?
It's home.
It's crazy.
It's home.
It was crazy. And everyone's just like, is he okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Just give me a minute. It's just like, this is crazy because, you're here in freaking Asia, trying to promote, and you're doing all this stuff, and you forget when you go back how awesome it is. You're just here, you're doing the grind, and you have your wife and your kid, and you have your business, and you're just you got this grind, and it's good, and it's life, it's fine. But you go back and you're like, oh my God, you forget, and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, I think that
crazy.
It's always something calling. If it's not like you haven't lived there even, it's like it's my root, it's calling you, and then like you just feel the
It's like if you went to like, Australia or something for like 15 years and didn't come back, and then all of a sudden you're here and you're in like, like Rahul Yes and all this amazing shit is coming out and everybody's there, and then
the 垃圾车 just drove by with the
and it just there, and everybody's just like, all this food is coming on, the smells, and then everybody, you just like,
it's overwhelming.
What's going on here? It's like only time actually in my life I was just like, oh my gosh.
Burst into teal.
Just like, it was crazy, man. Mexico it's amazing. I love it there. So it's beautiful. I love it. Next one. Let's get on the next one, yeah?
Yeah.
The next one is jalapeno. Jalapeno hot sauce. Jump on it, brother. Get in there.
This is green. I am a little terrified.
It's not bad, actually. This one's pretty, I think it's pretty mellow. Yeah, this one's pretty, I think the last couple are, because we didn't prepare too much for this, but the last one should be hot.
Is this something you sell?
We do, but we don't really recommend it, because then people they don't finish it because it's too hot. Usually the last two, we have a little set for the last two, and most people, they can finish the green one, but they can never finish the last one there because it's pretty spicy, man. But while you're doing that, boom, next picture. So we did that. Last picture, you're back. You're back from Mexico. You're back from Mexico. You nailed the culture. You're loving it. You came here. Now, instead of being the guy who's learning from here, from this place, the guy who's learning from Mexico, the student, now you come here. You're working at Crafted. You're managing Crafted. You're basically running Crafted. You're basically Raul's boss now.
I pay him. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. So you're basically the man. And Crafted now is killing it. It looks like it's going great, which is fantastic. It's fantastic. So now you're running events, right? You're out there. You're doing all the beer festivals. You have to take care of staff. You're running staff, right? Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that. I got more questions about it, but tell me more.
So after me coming back, you do remember I bring some mezcal to you with a little warm in there.
Yes, of course, I remember that.
I remember this is my one of my very first stop after I landed. And I come and say, hey, I get some mezcal. Do you want to try? But then I was not actually committed to anything because I have to do my military service. And then after that, I got some gigs, part-time gigs here and there. But 2021 COVID, I was thinking I want to do something. I feel like there's a calling here. I want to do something like that's closer to either cooking or beer related, alcohol related, and then Raul just got his firstborn, and then he was looking for a hand, and I was in between jobs. I was writing my resume, and then he was like, I just need somebody to open it for me whenever I have I'll come back to shop like after a certain hour. Do you think you can do it for me, basically? And then I say, yeah, I think I can do that. Because I'm writing my resume, I'm still deciding if I want to do something or I should devote myself to tech to make the big money.
The TSMC money. Yeah, which is... That is the big money,
But I was there, and then the first day, Raul told me, just run this place as if it's your shop. How would you do it? And then, we hit it off right away.
That's awesome, man. I love that. And Raul, like I told you a million times probably, that Raul, he called me and he's like, what do you think of this guy? And I said, this guy's fucking great. He's a great guy. So, he's like, I'm going to give him a chance. I said, yeah, you should. And then, the rest is history. Now you're running the friggin' place, right? You're running events.
But I still remember vividly the first time I asked you. So I was standing at exactly that position. I'm handing off beers and doing margaritas and stuff. And then people say, I think I'd like a hoppier beer. So an IPA, but a hoppier one. I was like, okay, cool. But at that time, I don't even know what I'm serving. And then by the end of the day, I said, Eddie, what is hoppy mean? I tried to look it up, but everything is just hop, like the verb hop and hoppy. Like what is hoppy? And then you explain it to me, and then saying, oh, you should try this. So you can see the number 4 tab is hoppier. It means it's a little bitter, but it's more fruitier or citrusier. And then it started to make sense. So I would say you inspired me.
Wow, really? That's cool, man. I didn't know that.
It was when I was 18, so it was 2016.
Oh my gosh. No, it's cool, man. I didn't know that I had that effect, honestly, because it's a cool thing, man. I mean, you were here working, you were doing awesome, and then when you went to Mexico, I thought that's really, really amazing, because I don't know any other, in 20 years living in Taiwan, any Taiwanese kid who went to Mexico.
I'm not crying. You are crying.
No, you don't. I don't want to cry.
No, the jalapeno is kicking
your ass. Yeah. Again, jalapenos, we get them from Pingdong. There's a guy who grows like fresh jalapenos. I gave some fresh chilies to Raul. For
Yeah,
you guys, right?
I got it.
And he's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with these? It's funny because, I always have so many ideas to do more stuff, but I just can't do.
Getting a new
Got another comment?
here?
Yeah, that's the average. Hold up. Great to have a Mexico episode. Amazing country, great people.
Yes.
So this guy right here, the average Joe, he's been watching for years, and he always comments. And you know what's funny? There was, I think it was last year. Was it Joe last year? I can't remember. Time flies. I'm in the back making dough, like flour dough, like masa, right? And somebody calls me. They're like, hey, somebody's out here for you. I'm like, yeah, I'm making dough, so I'll be out there in a bit. Then a couple minutes later, they come back and they're like, oh, he said to tell you, he's a super fan of the podcast,
right?
And his name's the Average Joe. And I'm like, what? Because there's not that many people that watch so many of the episodes, right? And so I came out and I'm like, oh my gosh. And so he lives in Washington.
Wow.
And he's from Europe, and he went to Washington to work, and he listens to the podcast about Taiwan, and it's crazy, right? It's awesome.
Shout out to Joe.
It's awesome. And then when he came to Taiwan,
Yeah.
one of the first places he came to was here, so that he could come, and we drank beer, and that was one of the days I'm like, all right, let's get drunk, right?
Yeah.
Because it was awesome. Yeah, I stunk like dough, and I had flour all over me and stuff, but it was cool, man. It was really cool. It's cool to see him checking it out on live. Yeah, man. But I'm supposed to ask you. Now that so when you open a restaurant or when you open a bar or a business or whatever, and you're like the manager or the owner and you're running it, they say that when you have staff is kind of like your kids, right? And I agree 100% with it. So what about you? What do you feel? How do you feel about having all these kids, these staff that kind of look up to you and that people that you have to take care of? And I'm supposed to ask you who's your favorite. And from who?
Oh, no. Don't put me into that position. Yeah. But yes, if I am having my staff kids, you will be the staff's grandfather.
All right. Agong. You call me Agong, man. All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. How's that feel? How's that vibe?
But we have been trying really hard to hire new staffs.
Yeah.
But not until recently, I think March, we hire 3 good hires. We think, and 3 of them, they have different approach regarding learning beer knowledge and everything.
People are different, learn different, yeah.
I think it's very crucial for them. It's like, what's your aim? What do you trying to achieve? Like if you are trying to work 6 months or a year here, what are you trying to know? And then by then I think I can try to customize your materials and then every time you come to shift, I'll give you something new.
Okay.
And then instantly, if you are reading all the materials by the next hour, if there's customer asking question regarding what you just learned, I set them there.
Okay.
Just to get the instant rewarding thing. From them, and all 3 of them are great.
Okay.
But it's completely different. You have to customize everything.
It's hard, right? It's tough because everyone learns differently, and it's tough because some people, we got a really good team right now. We're obviously everyone's always hiring, right?
Yeah.
But we have a couple of people that are leaving or that left recently that were not bad, but we have some new people. Like we have this girl sitting here at the bar from Myanmar, and she's been here for maybe a month, and in a month she knows everything.
Right.
She's just running circles around some staff that's been here for 6 months, and she's just boom, 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 and we're just holy cow, this girl is amazing.
Right.
And she's just happy and she's smiling and pretty good English, pretty good Chinese, and just she knows how to do the till, and she's just bang, 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 and you're just whoa, okay. So sometimes you just get somebody in, they apply and just seems like a normal, okay person, and then just she comes in and just takes over. You're this is great, amazing, yeah.
You have those every once a year will be lucky.
Once in a while, yeah. Very lucky. It's been I haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah.
Well, my last kind of person in the front, in the kitchen is different because They don't have to be kind of outgoing or whatever in the kitchen. I'll go in and we'll have like kitchen meetings and do our thing. Kitchen's solid. But in the front, you have to be outgoing. You have to be like fast. This is like the bar. You have to be fast. You got to run out. You have to smile. Sometimes you have shitty customers and you have to kind of be like, okay, smile, blah, blah, blah. And then just kind of get them out, and it's a hard thing to teach. It's a hard thing. Do you have any tips or any stories, any shitty customers?
But no, that's like you got me thinking. If I am the boss, like what I would do to encourage all the people to be active.
Yeah.
I'll give them like whatever, like 1,000 NTD a month, and then for them, ask them to try, go downtown, go to whatever Mexican restaurants, and then just order. You try to order, and you learn, and then you just take my money. But every time you finish a meal there, you give me some feedback. What you learn, what they do good, what they do bad.
It's a good idea, yeah.
The food, the waiter, what can you learn and improve from it? Like if you are there to apply 1,000 NTD from me, I trust you. With your and then you go ahead with my money, but you should learn something, and then I should learn from you.
Okay. Wow. That's a good idea. I like that because I also try. I do encourage people to go do stuff, but I never say, "Here, take my money."
Take my money. I'll fund you for a round flight to go to Mexico and learn something. That's a little too much.
Okay. Well, I'll take if that's how it is at Crafted, then I'm definitely going to be applying there next week, man.
Yeah. No. But all your kitchen or staff, wait staff, come here for a drink. It'll be on us.
Okay. Awesome, man. Well. You guys too, man. Send
if we can
over.
help you in a way or another, hey, we're down.
Actually, Raul is one of my secret weapon guys for craft beer.
Right.
Because it's like anytime, because I don't drink that much, right? I do like good beer and stuff like that. I know how to drinks.
Right.
But I don't know that much. And actually, I'm kind of like people that know me kind of know me and like kind of in circle. And I'm friends with everybody and friendly with everybody, blah, blah, blah. But also, I'm happy to just be home alone. Like I'm happy to just be introverted, just be at home, play video games with my kid, right? And just don't have to go anywhere. But so I don't go out very much, right? But I think there's always ways to learn and stuff like that. So I'm happy to learn, and Raul is always the guy. If I need something, I'm like, hey, I need non-alcoholic beer, which he laughs at me because I had one guy who needed that. Or I'll be like, I need an IPA, or what's the best IPA
you
right
get
now?
out.
Yeah, you get out, non-alcoholic. Like, what's the best beer? What's the best IPA? And that's when everybody's like, oh, the new IPA, Flow. Everybody's like, Flow's good. Raul said it. And I saw the Crafted picks, and I said, you voted for that was one of the best beers of the year?
Yes,
Flow, double IPA. So I actually know Joe, and I know the other guy, Tyler, from like UFC stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I said, all right, send me a couple beers. And they're like, I know, they're like, its cost is a bit higher. I'm like, doesn't matter. Then I just bump my price up. Doesn't matter. And I said, okay, let's do it. And I put it in, and people love it.
Surprised.
They love it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, a lot of people in Tianmu is in a similar situation as me. They have like their family. And so at the end of the day, they don't want to go that far.
You don't get out.
We're not going, like Maji is like my border. Like that's about as far as I go.
Yes.
And I almost hardly ever go there, right? And so a lot of people, they want to come out, but they don't want to go to the beer festival in, Huashan or whatever, because that's too far. Or they don't want to do any of that stuff. But they want to get like the nice beers, and they want to get the nice the new double IPA, or the new, guava hazy IPA that's made with American hops. They want that, but they don't want to go downtown to get it. So that's good. That's why we have it.
You are the spot.
We're the spot. And then I'll tell Raul, I'm like, I need a dark beer. What's a good local dark? And he'll be like, boom, Tilted Shack. Okay, Tilted Shack. Let's go.
Shout out again to Brian.
Brian. I love Brian. He's one of my favorite guys. So again, we still have one more wing, man.
If anything, you inspired all that. Like, inspire me to, you introduce me to Mexican food, to Mexican culture, because I don't think people realize that we do a lot of staff training to have background knowledge of the food and the culture.
Yeah, I mean, we try to.
We have to gather up and say, oh, this is what a sombrero is. When do you wear them? How do you wear them? Etc. Etc.
Yeah. Now, well, we tried to do that because customers ask.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than when you go to a restaurant.
I don't know.
Right? And they're like, "Buzao."
I don't know.
They're just like,
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, which one do you recommend? I don't know. I'm not allowed to eat it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not allowed to eat the food at your own restaurant? Nope. What's the best, what's your favorite drink here? I don't know. I never tried any of them.
It's all bitter for me. I don't know.
I never tried anything.
Yeah.
Well, you never tried anything at your own place? No. What's the best this? I don't know. I never tried the desserts here. I'm not allowed. And I'm like, as a customer, I think, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's weird. Why would you not let your staff try everything?
But yes, that's
you have to try
one
everything. Yeah.
thing I really miss about this. Like you give us, you try to give us the full experience of everything, and then you inspire me, and then I just went there, and then hey, I survived for 6 months, and then come back for more beer, and then get into the industry.
And then you got the perfect timing. Got in there with Raul. Now you guys are
making a Mexican lager. Hey,
it's delicious. Yeah. It's selling well with the. And it's funny because Raul was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna put the salt, the rim, and the tajin," and I'm like, "Okay, tell me how that goes." And he's like, "No one likes it." And I'm like, nobody likes it.
Please don't order it.
And I'm like, "I know, man. I know. Nobody." I'm like, I tried.
We can give you a lime and a can of tomato juice. You do it. Like I'm not.
It's actually like. It's heartbreaking sometimes when you're like, you got this new thing and you put it out there and you go, oh, it's so excited. And then people are like, I lived in San Diego for 3 months.
This is not a sandwich.
This is not Mexican food. And you're like, oh. So, yeah. And you're just like, oh my gosh, it's rough. It's rough. But man, it's good. Let's get the last one.
The last swing.
Yes. Oh, it's a tough one. I haven't done this.
Should I touch it or should I not?
I mean,
would it burn for 3 days?
No, it'll be okay. But just don't touch it and then touch your eyes. Because sometimes people are like, oh my God, it's so hot. And then they touch their eyes. And then I'm like, yeah, that's going to be much worse, man. Yeah. Oh, shit. We're at 1 hour and 30 already. Time flies. Yeah. There you go.
Do you have to cut it down to upload it or?
So what I do is it's live, right? And then what I'm going to do at the end is make like short clips, and we'll take like nice little story clips and we'll put them around. Right. And recently I do a lot of that stuff myself, which is good, but also super time consuming. And I recently just started to work with a company that they're offering me this service for a really good price. And I'm just going to be like, boom, here's the file. You do it. So I'm pretty excited for that because I was doing it consistently, like daily clips, which is awesome. But if someone else does it and the price is not bad, then it's even better. Especially if I can have the Chinese on there, it's great. Because most of my content it's in Taiwan.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm debating if I should even eat that, man. Oh my gosh.
But yes,
my content is all about Taiwan-based Taiwanese people, foreign people doing stuff in Taiwan, right? Taiwan stuff, man. So we love it.
Go ahead and talk.
Yeah, I know. I'm debating because my stomach's been having issues lately, so I'm debating if I should even dive into that, man. It's pretty rough.
I don't judge you.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough lately. I'm getting old. 45, man. Fuck, time flies. Yeah. But yeah, man.
But yes,
I love it. Yeah. So, do you have any sort of advice, any tips for 17-year-old you, except somebody in like your position, like however many years ago that was, they're like 17, 18, maybe finishing high school, debating, thinking, not sure what to do. I'm thinking about getting inspired. How do I get inspired? What's some advice you have for them? The last swing is rough, I know. Advice for the up-and-coming next generation of Nick Chang. You say Chang or Zhang? Zhang, right? Okay. Nick Zhang.
I still can't.
It's tough. It's going to scramble your brain. Yeah.
But what is it?
That is Carolina Reaper. So
the whole wing.
Yes. So So Carolina Reaper. So ghost pepper. No. Habanero. The habanero here.
Yeah.
Ghost pepper.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a scorpion pepper. And then there's Carolina Reaper. Carolina Reaper is like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So, yeah, we do serve these, but we don't recommend it. Because sometimes, one time, I remember one guy insisted on getting 6 of them. And I'm like, there's no way you're going to eat 6 of those, man. And he's like, yeah, I like spicy. So they had like 3, and he almost threw up. And I'm like, man, are you crazy? You want to go to hospital or something? No, I'm like, no, don't do that. So, yeah, anyways, that's it, brother. Yeah. That's why the horchata's here, man.
Yes.
Tips for the next generation of Nick Zhang's coming up. They're kind of 16, 17, 18. Kind of, Nick, what should I do? Looking for some inspiration. What should we do? What should the next generation of Nick Zhang's do?
I think for the next generation, like for example, me growing up, already there's nothing that's so sure and so consistent. If you devoted yourself into this field, blah blah, for 20 years, you're gonna get a good life. And then with all the AI, with all the technologies now, I don't think there's even any chance for one person to devote him or herself into one field and then get a rewarding life.
Yeah.
Like our parents do.
So be flexible.
Yes.
Learn lots of things. So should they be like, oh my gosh, I'm scared of AI, it's going to take all my jobs, or should they be like, I'm going to learn AI and I'm going to use that to maybe get a higher pay in a certain job?
Okay, this is one of my personal dilemma right now.
Yes, do it.
Yes, I am happy selling beers. For the last 3 years, I'm enjoying my work. Will I be selling beer for the rest of my life? I don't know. But for the past 3 years, I've encountered so many people. I've got so many stories.
Yeah.
I got more fluent in English or just connecting with people.
Yeah, that's what it is. The job. That's the bar. That's the restaurant.
That's the
service.
job. And I think it's not just the job or a career. I think it's
a life skill.
It's people's life.
Yeah.
You know. For our limited lives, like I don't care if it's 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years even. It's all you. But if you connect with enough people, collecting enough life stories, it can enrich your life in a fascinating way. And then it's like, yes, like me, I never realized that I can be able to sit here and then talk to you for 90 minutes.
It's crazy. I can't believe it's been 90 minutes, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that your story is awesome. And when you came here the other day and you were telling me, like, I knew you went to Mexico.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, well, obviously maybe we, had something to do with that. But when you told me that how inspiring it was when you came here and how much you loved the place and how you went to Mexico because you just loved here. I just thought that was amazing.
Oh yeah, Eddie. If there's anything, like I think you should keep on doing what you do.
Thanks,
even if it's not directly, you are changing people's life.
Thanks, man.
It's like all the 5 years old right now. They're 25. I don't know. Maybe there are soccer players right now.
There's a few, man.
Maybe there are some customers become chefs right now.
There's a lot.
Maybe some of them are living on the opposite side of the globe.
Yeah.
Because of you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate. I've been doing. I don't know. I've always been a quiet, like super, like introvert, shy person.
Yeah.
But also, like people, and if people are good, then I always just try to be nice, try to be good to people, and like even raising my daughter. She goes to kindergarten before, and some kids are great, and some kids are little shits. And I'm like, just be nice to everybody. And if somebody's shitty to you, You just be nice to them. And if they're still shitty to you, then just don't play with them. That's it, right? But that's it. That person is not going to, shouldn't affect you. Like, if that person is unhappy, then, if you can help them, but, just be nice to everybody. Right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I grew up thinking. And yeah, I don't know. That's what I think. And I came to Taiwan, and people are great here. I love it here. And people are, I don't know. It's a good spot, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But your story's awesome, man. I love it. Thanks for coming.
Thanks
for sharing the story. I'll chop this up and make some good clips.
All right.
Yeah, brother. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And don't forget to subscribe. And if you guys are looking for amazing beer selection, go down to Maji Square, Crafted Beer & Co. and ask for Nick.
Yes. Yeah? I'm here to help. If I'm not trying to... Yes, I'll be there.
If he's not trying to, yes. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you everybody for watching Eddie's show. We feel only happiness, don't feel any sorrow. Welcome everybody to watch more on his content. Eddie Live Podcast. Eddie Live Podcast.